If you want to start an Alaska LLC, then this video is for you. I'll show you step by step how to start an LLC in the state of Alaska. Here is an overview of the different steps. I'll go through all of these in more detail, but if you don't want to do all the work yourself, I just recommend using a service like Northwest Registered Agent. They will do all of this for you. It is extremely affordable, and of all the different LLCs, S corps, and corporations that I've made personally, which has been a lot, I've used services just like this, so I highly recommend it. But anyways, the first step is to, of course, name your LLC. And to do this, you will need to follow Alaska's state naming guidelines. Your LLC name must include limited liability company, LLC, or L.L.C. The name also must not include names that confuse it with a government agency. In Alaska, the LLC also cannot contain the following: city, borough, or village. If your name does include certain keywords like bank, insurance, or corporation, or whatever, those will need to get additional approval. Here is a list of restricted names, so you cannot have these words in the name of your LLC. And as far as confusing your name with other LLCs in the States, here are the names that are actually considered not distinguishable. So I recommend you guys pause the video if this concerns you guys. And what you'll want to do is conduct a state name search. So you'll want to make sure that the name for your LLC is available in the state of Alaska. And another thing to consider is that you may want to choose a name that does have an available domain name. Okay, so step 2 is to hire a registered agent. So this is basically a person or a business that's responsible for sending and receiving important legal documents on your behalf. So this can be things like tax forms, can be lawsuits, government correspondence forms, stuff like that. Your registered agent must be a full-time resident of Alaska, and it can be yourself, it could be an employee, it can be a friend, or it can be a registered agent service, which is what I recommend. The reason why I recommend it not being yourself is because if you are your registered agent, then this information is public and people will be able to search up your address. So that's why we always recommend using someone else or a registered agent service. The great thing is that if you guys use Northwest Registered Agent to form your LLC, it does come with that for the first year. So step 3 is to file the Alaska LLC Articles of Organization. So this is going to be Form 08484, and this is filed with the Alaska Secretary of State. The filing fee, if you do it online, is $250, and there may be some additional fees if you do a physical filing. As you file this form, you're going to need to know the management structure. So is your LLC going to be member managed, or is it going to be manager managed? For most of you guys watching this, you're going to be member managed. Step 4 is to create your LLC operating agreement. So this is not required in Alaska, but it is highly recommended. This is basically a legal document that outlines the ownership and operating procedures of your company. If you guys don't know how to do this and you use something like Northwest, they will do this for you. But yeah, basically it's going to include the organization, it's going to have management and voting structure, it's going to have the capital contributions, it's going to have the distribution rules, the membership change rules, and the dissolution rules. Step 5 is to obtain your EIN for your Alaska LLC. So this is required if you want to open up a business bank account or hire employees. And it's also needed for federal and state tax purposes. So if you guys do want to get an EIN yourself, the IRS does provide this for free. It's very easy to get, and you guys can apply online or by mail. Step 6 is to file your initial report. So this is required after submitting the Articles of Organization. It should be submitted within 6 months of filing. In Alaska, there's no additional filing fee needed, and you can do this online, or you can actually print it out and submit it by mail or by fax. Step 7 is to get your business licenses. So depending on your business type, there may be licenses and permits that you may need. And the most prominent one for Alaska is going to be the Alaska Business License. This does cost $50 to file, and it is renewable every year or biannually. So step 8 is to file your biennial report. And this is a report that must be filed by any Alaska LLCs after the initial report. This is due on January 2nd, every second year after LLC formation. You guys can do this online through mail or fax, and the filing fee for this is $100. Step 9 is there may be additional licensing and permits that you may need for your business depending on the type. So you'll want to do some research. I'm not going to go into this too much, but you will want to make sure that you are compliant with all the rules. Now, after you form your LLC, you're going to want to open up a business bank account. This is going to help separate your personal assets from your business assets. You may want to get a business credit card. And of course, I do recommend having an accountant, a tax professional, help with your taxes once you do have an LLC. It gets more complicated, so I definitely don't recommend doing it yourself. Plus, you can actually ask them any questions and they will help you out. Now, in terms of the Alaska LLC tax filing requirements, you will need to pay sales tax if you do sell certain items. There's also employer taxes if you do have employees in the state of Alaska. So make sure you are doing all this compliantly. Your accountant can help you out with this. And you must also report annual income to the IRS using the following forms. So if you have a multi-member LLC, you'll use Form 1065 for the partnership return. And if you're a single member LLC, which is probably most of you, you'll use Form 1040 Schedule C. Of Of course, LLCs are pass-through entities, so any income you make from your LLC, it goes straight to your personal tax return, and that'll be added on using the form 1065 or 1040. Now, I know this is pretty complicated. There are a lot of steps, so I do recommend just using a service to do this for you. They'll make sure that you're doing the whole process correctly, and now I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. All right, so if you click on the link down below, it's going to take you to this exact landing page. From here, we can create our exclusive $39 LLC using Northwest. So what we'll do is click Get Started. We're going to select our business type, so we're doing an LLC, and then we're going to select Alaska. We'll be able to select our processing time. So as you guys can see, 5-day processing, 3-day processing, and there is 1-day processing. Now, this is a mandatory state fee that you would have to pay anyways. So even if you do this yourself, you will need to pay this fee. We'll go with 5-day processing for now and click continue. Now it's going to have you enter in your exact business name. So for me, I'll do this. You guys don't need to have that comma, but you can also choose to have it. We'll now type in our business purpose. Okay, you don't need to get too detailed here. It's not going to ask for the NAICS number. So if you guys click on this, you guys can come here and actually find the number for your specific business. We'll enter that in right here. It's going to ask you what physical address you want on record with the state. We'll use the registered agent address, which I recommend, and same thing with the mailing address. But of course, you can change that as well. We'll come here to continue. Now we're going to select our management type. So you guys can click on these to see what each of these is, but we'll go with member managed. We'll select how many members there are, just me. So we'll select 1. We'll enter in my name. We'll select our registered agent address, click continue. Now I'll create an account by putting in our email as well as a password. And then we'll click continue. And now we're going to put in our contact details. Cool. Now we'll select continue. And here we're going to be able to add any optional items. So if you do want them to help you get your EIN number, we can select that. You guys can see that is a $50 charge. Of course, completely optional. You guys can choose to do that yourself. We can elect to have an S corporation election with the IRS. We can have premium mail forwarding, have a virtual office, trademark service, as well as phone service, which I do believe is free. So we'll click continue. And then here's where you enter in your payment information. After entering all the stuff in, we will click done, and the whole LLC formation process will be started. So as you guys can see, super easy. They do everything for you, and it really is a great service that I highly recommend. Again, if you guys want this exclusive $39 package, you will need to use that link down below, and you'll get access to that special. But anyways, that's basically how you form an LLC in the state of Alaska. I hope you guys found this step-by-step tutorial helpful. Feel free to reference it at any point if you want. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video or got some value from it, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. On this channel, we do a ton of free tutorials teaching you how to start up your business. Anyways, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.